Hello everybody, and welcome to Ancient Architects. Please subscribe now to get the latest ancient history news and independent research from around the world. Located on the island of Bali near Ubud, Indonesia, is this ancient sanctuary and Hindu archaeological site known as Goa Gajah or the Elephant Cave. The actual history of this structure is shrouded in mystery, and the most common belief is that it was built for spiritual meditation for Hindu priests, or maybe a hermitage. It could have also had a specific ritual function. Some say it got its name from the Hindu god Ganesh, who has a statue inside, but the name probably comes from its close proximity to the Petanu River, also known as the Elephant River. A folktale says it was created by the fingernails of a legendary giant known as Kebo Iwa, but historians have examined the style of architecture and believe it dates back to the 11th century. In close proximity, relics were discovered that predate the 11th century, so the origins could go back much further. It's possible the cave was dug out first, and the ornamentation around the opening came later. The first mention of this cave in history comes from the Javanese poem called Desavanana, which was written in 1365. Dutch archaeologists rediscovered the cave in 1923, but the associated fountains and bathing pools located outside the cave were not found until 31 years later in 1954. This was the last time the cave was explored, and much of the area still remains unexcavated. If you walk around, you can literally see piles of relics of unknown origin and now out of context, some of which have been laid out in a nearby garden. The location is characterised as a sacred Hindu site, one of many on Bali, and it's surrounded by a number of ancient temples. We can see that the entrance of the Elephant Cave has many menacing faces that are carved into the stone, and it's assumed they were added to ward off evil spirits. Walking through the demonic-like mouth, and it's like you're entering some kind of underworld. Some claim the entrance represents the Hindu earth god Boma, but others say it could be something more sinister, and it actually belongs to the child-eating witch Rangda, a character from local Balinese mythology. The inside of the cave is actually very small. You enter through a dark, narrow passage, and the cave ends with an intersection. To the left is a small niche with a statue of Ganesh, the Hindu god with an elephant head, and to the right is a small chamber of worship where you can see the remains of a lingam, a phallic symbol associated with the god Shiva, as well as its female counterpart the yoni. But because a number of Buddhist relics have also been discovered around the site, including carved images of stupas and chatra, not to mention the close proximity of a Buddhist temple, it is very possible it was a significant site for both Hinduism and Buddhism in times gone by. The two square bathing pools outside have water spouts held up by 6 female figures. Originally there were 7, but one was damaged in an earthquake. These 7 statues and associated water spouts are said to depict the 7 holy rivers of India. In 1995, Goa Gajah was added to the UNESCO World Heritage tentative list, but it was taken off 20 years later in 2015. No further excavation work is scheduled, but because of the amount of finds around the site, and because it was clearly important to 2 religions in history, I would suggest there is still a great deal more to discover at Goa Gajah. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Ancient Architects. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video, and please leave a comment below. Thank you very much.